WendyWilliams was on The Real. She was one of the guest hosts that they have every now and then. And she was talking to the host about her, the way that she has battled body dysmorphia for a great part of her life, since she was 13 years old. And she said it was triggered by a modeling agency, her trying to be a model at that age. She tells them that when she wanted to be a model when she was young, she figured she was 5'9", she was 120 pounds. She thought that, you know, surely she would be able to get the modeling gig. She was a pretty girl. And when she went to the modeling agency, they still told her basically she was fat. She wasn't fat for regular life terms, but when you are modeling and you're going to be on camera, or you're going to be in print and the camera puts more pounds on you, you know, we know the story. They have these models that are stick thin. And even I used to model when I was younger. I was very thin and everything. And even I was considered to be a big girl for somebody. And I literally was probably 110 pounds and about 5'7", 5'8". Okay. So yes, it's a very difficult industry to be in, and they definitely, you know, now it's different. Now Curves is in, and you know, the designers, they create their looks. I think not like begrudgingly. I don't even think they still want to do it, but they realize that people are getting their bodies done and they're fuller and they're more curvy and all of that. And now they're making clothes that fit that body type. But pretty much my girlfriend who works at Neiman, she always told me that the designers want their clothes to lay on the person like it lays on a hanger. Okay. They don't want it to have no kind of shape or anything. They want you to look like you are a walking fucking hanger going down the thing, so that the person can actually look at the dress, not be distracted by anything else, the body or anything else, because that is what the focus is on. Like I said, now it's different, but that, I mean, I think that that's still the general way, but I don't know if, but now it's clear that the designers are starting to adopt larger sizes in their run, and you know, things like that. Remember Nene, they make it if you have the money. Now they're starting to make these things for these people. So she said that put her on this course that was bad. She said she wired her mouth shut in '93 trying to lose weight, which was like a big thing. Like my friend, one of my good girlfriends, was wiring her mouth shut all the time in the 90s. Like it was a thing that people were, I don't know if in LA we was doing that. I'm assuming that Tammy was in LA. Definitely in LA we were doing that. Not me. Okay, because the bitch got to eat. How about my girlfriend used to bust her wire on the side here when she really wanted something to eat, and she would still like smash food up in the little space right here and put it in there and be gnashing it with her teeth. And then after a while she gets sick of having her teeth wired, so she would cut the wires, and your tongue be all black because you can't brush your tongue when you brush your teeth. And I mean, it was craziness, but definitely it was a thing in LA back in the early 90s. People was wiring their mouth shut. So when she said that, it wasn't a shock to me, but it is a shock when you are already 120 pounds. That would have been like me wiring my mouth shut. You know, silly. But it definitely did something on her mental, okay, her psyche. She always felt she was too big. Now, evidently, or apparently, she's battled this on and off, because clearly we know that Tammy has not always been thin. I mean, not this thin. She's never been big, but she's never been this thin. And really, you guys, I didn't even know she was this thin. I don't follow Tammy, and so I don't see her. You don't really see her doing the Bonnet Chronicles. You know, I guess Tammy is booked and busy. But Mr. actually was the one who was like, have you seen TamiRoman lately? And I was like, no. He said, she's just very, very thin. I'm wondering if she's ill. So I went onto her Instagram and I was like, oh, and it was such a big, drastic difference. Actually, I had been seeing her on Marlo's page, because Marlo is now styling for her. But I still didn't really, couldn't really tell. But when I went on her page and I finally was able to see that, yes, she is very, very, I just figured that she was sick. I didn't want to say anything. People, we need to, you know, we need to learn our lessons, especially with what happened with Chadwick. Like, people be commenting on folks, people may be sick. You know, it's just never cool to be like, what's wrong with you? And girl, you need to put on some weight. You know, that kind of shit is rude. If you're sick and you're trying to battle something, that is the last thing you need to hear. Okay. And I guess she still has to work. And so then I was just like, okay, something must be going on. I started to read through the comments, and I saw somebody said she has diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And I said, okay, well, maybe she's just really trying to regulate and try to get her body. Maybe she was recently diagnosed. It takes some time for you to figure out the medications and things. So that's what I was thinking it was. And even though diabetes is still part of it, this body dysmorphia is also something that has crept its way back into her head. And she says that now, even when people say, oh my God, Tammy, you look so skinny, she says in her mind, she thinks that that's good. Like, okay, that's the goal. I need to look thinner. Okay. When she looks in the mirror, apparently, she doesn't feel thin. When we all look at her, she looks very thin. I mean, if you look very thin on TV and print or in pictures, you definitely look much thinner even in person. So, you know, she opened up and let us know that that is what she is going through right now. And I mean, I guess I can understand at the smallest level, because I have always been thin. But I have picked up weight. Now, I ain't thin. When I got married, I was like 128 pounds. And I was pregnant. You know, I didn't realize it then at the time, but I was a few weeks pregnant when I got married. Well, I am now 165 pounds. So obviously I am not as thin as I think I am. But when I still look in the mirror sometimes and I have an outfit on, or, you know, I'll just be like, yeah, too thin to be walking around like this. And then I might see it in a picture or something, be like, oh girl, you didn't look too bad, you know? So yeah, years and years of people telling you bony, you thin, you too skinny, you know, you look like, you know, calling me all kind of names. Those things do still stick in your head. You know, even still, when you work hard to not let it affect you like that, it still does at some level. So, I mean, I do understand what Tammy is going through at a smallest level, but the whole thing is, I just hope that she's working on that with a psychologist and with a doctor, because it don't matter how many times you tell yourself you look good or anything. I mean, your health is at risk. And, you know, I don't want to see anything happen to Tammy. She's worked hard to become the person that she is today. And she's doing well. And I mean, she was even on Entertainment Tonight recently. You know, she's out there, and I want her to be healthy. So that is what's going on with Tammy, though, you guys, because it has started to get real apparent that there was definitely something going on. During that interview, also, she talked about letting her husband, Reggie, Reggie Youngblood? I think that's his last name. She said that because she doesn't want to have kids, which we already knew. She doesn't want to have any more kids. She already has 2 daughters. She doesn't want to have any more kids. He is younger than she is, I think like 10 years or so. 10, 12, 15, something like that. And he wants to have kids, but she doesn't want to have kids. So she has now decided that if he really wanted to, he could go out and be with somebody for 2 years and they could make a baby and then he can come on back. And I was like, now where is this logic? That's why I said I hope that Tammy is getting some help, you guys, because first of all, why can't we just do artificial insemination? You know, she says she don't want to get her eggs, and fine. Okay, fine. I mean, Tammy, I hate to say this because you guys get so mad at me, but Tammy is 51 years old. Like, the chances that her eggs are viable, it's not impossible, but it's less likely. And especially now that she has this body dysmorphia thing going on, you know, a lot of times your body will not create things when it knows that it's struggling to keep something else going. Okay, so realistically, she probably might not be able to get these eggs together. It could happen, so don't be in my comments with that, you guys. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that it could most likely not happen. But she's been saying this for some years now, that she didn't want to have any kids. They could have got these eggs, but whatever, child, it's neither here nor there. She said that he can go be with somebody for 2 years. Girl, do you know that you could lose your man? Like, when you let a man go and be with somebody else, they have sex, they create a baby, there might be a bond that's created. He might fall in love with this woman. Then what? You don't mind? You don't care? Like, when you say things like that, it seems like the bottom line is, I'm willing to let you go be with somebody else because I don't want to have kids. Okay? And I mean, I guess in your warped way of thinking, you could say, well, I'm just doing this for them. Like, you know, this is the, you know, for them, to make them happy and all. But no. Just say, listen, I don't want to have kids. And if you feel like you want to have kids, then you are welcome to go. Okay. I don't want to hold you back. But this whole going and being with somebody for 2 years and then them come back, girl, that man might not never come back. You better be ready to lose your man if you did something like, I mean, even though I'm sure they're not doing that, but just the fact that she said that, I was like, Tammy, no, that is a no. Okay. It's too many other ways, and you can still adopt. Even if you didn't want to go that route, you can adopt kids out there every day that need a home, you know. And like I said, it can be artificial insemination. You could just use his sperm and somebody else's eggs, you know, a donor. Like, it's so many other ways. I was like, Tammy, girl. So yeah, Tammy got some things going on. We just gonna, you know, hope and pray that she's able to work out whatever the things that she is going through. Okay. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that letting Reggie go and create a baby with somebody and then having them come back, does that make sense to you? Y'all let me know. All right, you guys, the Grammy nominations are out, and the Grammys are going to be shown, I guess, the beginning of the year, sometime in January, I believe it is. And I didn't go through the list of all the names. I just kind of picked up what were pretty interesting, you know, people that were nominated. Now, we got this John Baptiste. I don't even know who he is, but he led the nominations with 11 nominations. Other people had multiple nominations, big names. Justin Bieber, of course, her, Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, this Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, those seem to be the front runners. Those seem to be the names to take notice of. Good for her. You know, and I do like Billie Eilish as well. Justin Bieber, you know, he's whatever. I've never been no super Biebs fan, but I like his music. So, I mean, good for him too. I mean, good for all the nominees. But some of the things to note, I did notice that Lil Nas X, child, he done got nominated for Record Song and Album of the Year. Okay, for that Montero. Is that the name of the song? He's out there, y'all. Now, he's in the Grammy nominations. They have Best Rap is Drake, Kanye, Tyler, the Creator, Nas, and J. Cole. Okay, we got Saweetie. Saweetie got nominated for a Grammy. Her song Best Friend with Doja Cat. And yeah, it was a whole bunch of people, like a lot. But I was just like, okay, Lil Nas X is definitely, I mean, this isn't the first time that he was nominated for Grammy. He won a Grammy, right? Didn't he win a Grammy for Old Town Road? So he's still out there, y'all. They love, Lil Nas X is a darling. He is a darling. The industry loves him. So good for all of the people. But there's a lot of other nominations that are in there. We're going to have a conversation about this R&B versus pop artist situation. Let's talk about the AMAs, because this is where the subject came up. So people were upset. Now, the AMAs just aired last Sunday. The AMAs actually was better than they've been in years. I watched the AMAs. I watch all the award shows with the exception of Billboard. For some reason, I just won't do Billboard. But the AMAs actually was pretty good this year. They had Cardi B was the host, and she actually was a very good host, very entertaining, loud, funny, looked great. Oh my God, the outfits, you guys, the outfits. But even the performers, it was just a good, well-rounded mix. And I enjoyed it. This thing about the the R&B artists and the pop artists. Now, we've even had this discussion here. The Weeknd, I will never say is an R&B artist. You guys keep on arguing me down that he is an R&B artist. And now that he's won this AMA for R&B, you know, people were kind of having something to say about it. He is not R&B to me. He is pop. He is popular music with a tinge of R&B on it. And that's being generous to me. Okay? But Doja Cat winning as an R&B artist, when Doja is definitely not an R&B artist. Not when I think of the classical, like when I think of the traditional R&B sound, neither Doja Cat or Weeknd has it to me. Okay? I don't know. So when Doja won over Jasmine Sullivan, who is 100% R&B, people were upset about that. They need to stop letting these popular pop artists get into the categories in R&B, and they pushing out true R&B artists. Like, you getting the credit for some shit that you not even really doing. You guys, it's frustrating. But you guys will still argue me down that they R&B artists, especially the Weeknd thing. You guys haven't really said too much about Doja Cat, but we haven't had that discussion. But we definitely have had it about Weeknd. And you guys just keep on saying it's like he's not. He is not. I'm sorry, you guys. Mister is texting me. I guess I'm taking too long out here. Wouldn't miss a won't. Okay, why I got to go? Let me finish this video, you guys. Anyway, yeah, y'all let me know what you think about that whole R&B versus pop artist thing. And do you really look at The Weeknd as an R&B artist? Anyway, what did you guys think about the AMAs? Loved New Edition and New Kids on the Block. I never have been a New Kids on the Block fan. I always thought they were corny. But I mean, respect for what they were able to accomplish. And it was good to see them actually up on stage with my boys, New Edition. You guys, I was so happy to see them up there, even with all of them there, including Bobby. You know, they had to put Bob on the end because, you know, in a little bit of the shadow, just in case Bobby couldn't get them steps together. But yeah, I loved it. Now, they did doctor their voices for sure. Even Ricky didn't. I don't know why they did it to Ricky, because Ricky still sounds great, but they had his voice, you know, through some sort of computer. And they, of course, definitely did with Bobby Brown. You know, he's gonna have to do some working out, because, you know, the guys, it's a physical group. They do a lot of dancing and things. And if they're about to be on tour, which I can't wait till it comes to Atlanta, I really am trying to figure out a way to get to Vegas to see them, as they have a residency there. They, you know, I'm excited about all of the things that's coming. But he gonna have to, if he want to stretch this out for the long haul, especially on this residency, he gonna have to get in shape. And then, you know, the prayer is always going to be that these boys can stay together, because we know that New Edition is notorious for getting into a fight and just be like, fuck it. And they don't give a damn if they making money or not. If they get mad, then they are not doing it. Okay. And we know that Johnny and Ralph Tresvant have been in a battle with BLVD, basically, because they ended up buying the rights to the name. And, you know, they were all saying that they all should own the name of the group. And I don't know if they were able to, they obviously was able to work it out some kind of way, but they good for that, you know. So we're not really sure how that's gonna go, but that's why I'm like, they need to start on this side, on the East Coast. You know, they live out this way, or at least on the East Coast. I'm not sure if they're all in Atlanta, but they live out this way for the most part. So y'all start on this side, and the shit can fall apart by the time they get across the country. But, you know, if they get that residency in Vegas, and, you know, if they keep it up, yeah, that's going to be a great show. So I'm looking forward to that. But love the black chick who sings the country music. She was great. I enjoyed everybody. I didn't see Chloe. I think you guys said that Chloe performed. I didn't see her. But y'all tell me what y'all thought about the awards show, what y'all thought about Cardi, all of the performances, the people that won. Y'all give me all of that. Just put it down there. So I got up this morning, and one of the rock stars had sent me a message on, or had commented. So the Shade Room had posted that Lil Baby and Saweetie might be dating. because evidently she was in New York for her performance on Saturday Night Live. If you guys saw a couple of weeks ago, she was the musical guest. And then she also had to perform at, what is it called, Powerhouse or Roadhouse or whatever in New Jersey. So she was already there, and now people are saying that they saw her and him in a Chanel store, and he had dropped like $100,000 shopping for her. So now they're saying that Lil Baby and Saweetie might be dating. My thought to that is, who said that they was dating? Just because we saw them, you know, they may have been out on a date, okay, hanging out or whatever. That doesn't mean that I'm tied down to you, nigga. If you want to spend $100,000 on me, that is on you, okay? And again, he's rich. $100,000 is not the same to him that it is to us. So him dropping $100,000 when a fucking Chanel bag could cost you $45,000, I mean, he could have bought her 2 things and that would have been it, you know? So, you know, all of these things you got to keep in perspective. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that the two of them are dating. They may have been just hanging out, just trying to see, and he wanted to buy his friend something nice. But they could also be dating. I mean, you just never know. Saweetie is moving real silent. You know, we don't know who she might be dating. She's been careful not to tie herself down to anybody, but Lil Baby seems to be a favorite these days, so maybe that might work out. She seems too grown and curvy woman for his little old skinny self. Y'all be seeing these, I be like, y'all need to eat. Can we feed these rappers? They so damn skinny, child. Maybe. I mean, maybe. But anyway, the rock star sends me a message and was like, see, I knew the way he was treating Danny Lay. Now, remember, I just woke up when I saw this. I wake up and I'm reading this. He said, I knew the way he was treating Danny Lay was another bitch in the wings. So then I go to the story and I'm reading it and I'm getting confused because I keep on seeing Lil Baby and something. And I was like, Danny Lay, what is she talking about? And I was like, girl, you talking about the baby. All these fucking babies got you thrown out, no baby. That's the D-A baby. This is Lil Baby. This is the one that always kind of be looking sort of like his face be kind of real stressed. But yeah, no. We get them mixed up. So the baby is still dealing with his sister wives. That is Mimi and Danny Lay, I'm sure, over on that end. Saweetie would be crazy to link herself to the baby right now. Like, girl, that is not what you want. And that's what I was thinking when I first read the comment. Like, I know Saweetie ain't crazy enough to date the baby right now. Like, she's a favorite. People like her. So that, you know, don't mess up your reputation like that. But yeah, it's not the baby. It's Lil Baby. Okay, get your baby straight. Y'all think they dating? You think she, you know, he just went on and spent a few dollars. Until we get more proof, I won't say that they're dating. All right, you guys. So you guys saw the fight between LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart. Well, the fight that was trying to be. Of course, it was after LeBron did throw an elbow. It was a dirty shot. He did hit Isaiah in the mouth or the eye or something. All I know is he was bleeding. All this looked like it was bleeding. All right. And when Isaiah saw blood, obviously he saw red and he wanted to come after LeBron James. And, you know, it was an overreaction in my opinion. I couldn't figure out why he got that mad. But of course, sometimes when people get hit and they see blood, like that takes it to a whole nother level. Like they be pissed that they are actually bleeding because of something that you did. So, I mean, you know, but Isaiah, what I need him to understand is this is not the streets. This is the NBA. Okay. We need to keep our job. Like I said, these athletes have a lot riding on them. You know, you got families that's counting on you. It don't pay to be getting in fights and getting ejected and getting your check cut. Okay. Cause we need our coins. All right. And then, of course, fighting against LeBron James, which, you know, nobody is saying LeBron James is God and, you know, all of this. But you guys have to understand politics. It is politics in everything, in every industry, and even in NBA. You know, you don't want to be labeled as the bad boy or the one that's, you know, trying to fight LeBron James, who, like it or love it or hate it, okay? I mean, you just don't need to be fighting LeBron James. Not to this point, okay? Nigga, we could have said a few words on the court, pushed him around a couple of times, but all that you was trying to do, You know, we've seen it in the past. Like, they will label a person and will bring down a person's reputation just for a bad, mistake that they made on the court, and it's something they can never get away from. So I don't want him to have that. So let's learn how to control ourselves, okay? Because you're going to be in this physical contact sport. There's going to be times when you get hit, either on accident or on purpose, and you're going to have to learn how to roll with the punches. So all that running and all the histrionics, yes, it was good for TV. We had some shit to talk about and all of that, but it was an overreaction. They both deserve to get ejected like they did. They were suspended. LeBron one game, him 2 games. This is the first time LeBron has ever been suspended. That's pretty much all it was for me. What was it for y'all though? Seeing all that happen on the court though, that was a lot. Honey, Isaiah was like, bitch, I am going to kill you. Can you imagine if they would have got to each other? All that frustration and pent up energy and mad. Child, that would have been a scrap. But that's all it was, y'all. All right, you guys, Mr. want me to get some aluminum foil. What the hell? Next story, WendyWilliams. So I'm not really sure if this is, where there's smoke, there's fire, or if this is really just a creative story. So they're saying that WendyWilliams now has early signs of dementia and she will not be returning to her show. They're saying that she is not able to walk. She's confined to a wheelchair, that she has no circulation to her feet, her legs. We know that she has lymphedema. Is it lymphedema? Is that what it's called? Where her legs swell. And so she has poor circulation in her legs. And that is what the rumor is. The brother, Tommy, came out and said that it wasn't true. Well, what he said was, we haven't seen any signs of early dementia. We don't live there in the same state as she does, but, my dad talks to her on the phone all the time, and he hasn't seen any early signs of dementia. For one thing is, these stories don't just come out of the blue. Somebody is saying it because it's being discussed at least somewhere. The dementia thing, I don't know what to believe. What we do know is that Wendy has shown over the last few years that she has had some memory issues. She's kind of been off. She said some things where it's just sort of like, what? And those were things, and we never checked that. Like, we never knew what exactly it was. We just kind of brush it off as Wendy being Wendy and, just forgetting something and all. But there has been some times, I can say, where we just been like, something ain't really right with Wendy. But we gave her a pass because she was going through so much in her private life that we figured, like, it was some days she was probably doing good just to show her ass up at work. But now it's just sort of like, it's too much smoke. Like, it's too much smoke. She obviously hasn't been returning to the show. We haven't seen her anywhere. They haven't let her be seen. So it's, you just wonder exactly what the issue is. The smoke is where there's fire, or, again, is this just something that's been made up? And then we got to take what Tommy says with a grain of salt, because the nigga, him and Wendy ain't talked in a long time. Like, they don't fuck with each other. Remember, they fell out even before the mom died, and they've gone back and forth with being okay and then not being okay. So I don't really know if we can even go by what he says, but the stories is out there, and of course it is something that we have to wonder. They're saying that Sherri Shepherd is the front runner to take her show, and she's doing very well. I was like, oh, well, what's she gonna be? It's gonna be the WendyWilliams show featuring Sherri Shepherd? Like, or is she just gonna get her own show? Like, are we just gonna end WendyWilliams' show and let Sherri Shepherd have it? Or, so I don't know what that means, but they're saying that she's doing very well. But we saw it happen with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon got his own talk show, and everybody says it's not that good. Maybe they're still trying to work out the kinks on the Nick Cannon show. So, but that doesn't always guarantee that you will be able to be successful on your own show. It doesn't always mean that. So sometimes it all works together to bring up a good show, and it's not just something that happens at chance. Like, this is, them stepping into Wendy's show because it's already a well-oiled machine. Maybe that's why they do so well over there and not necessarily on their own. So anyway, that's it, y'all. I mean, I really hope that she's not. I mean, it would be such a quick fall, you know, her in her health, decline in her health, because I mean, she has had her issues and all, but we did not know that it was about to go here. And Wendy Williams is still fairly young, so you know, I hope that's not what it really is, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I mean, we'll know, because eventually they're not gonna be able to keep pushing off her show on all these different guest hosts. They're gonna have to say something eventually, so we'll know. But prayers up for Wendy. Hopefully she is gonna be okay. And then lastly, you guys, we got a lot of shows coming up now. You guys know Portia's spinoff show is going to be airing on Bravo after next week. Next week is the last, well, actually Sunday is the last Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, and then we'll be moving on to Portia's show. Well, now after Portia's show, they're telling us that Karen has her own spinoff show. They kept that shit really quiet. Nobody said anything. That lets me know that maybe they weren't sure if they were going to greenlight that show. They probably recorded it, and then they was just kind of holding it to see. But because all of a sudden it was just like Karen got her own show. It was just like, y'all done recorded it and everything. So yeah, I have a feeling that they weren't really sure if they were going to release it. But Karen's show comes in, and so that's going to push Real Housewives of Atlanta from its 14th season. Is it 14? I think it's 14th season coming. And all that. So, child, we ain't gonna get Real Housewives of Atlanta until the spring. Okay. But yeah, so congratulations to Karen. I'm interested in seeing her and Uncle Jessup and the kids and all that, you know, just get a different look. They're also saying that, now I didn't do no research on this, but somebody said that Martell Holt's girlfriend has been approached by Bravo to do a show talking about her life. I was just like, Bravo? Well, why would Bravo reach out to her? Aren't they on OWN? It seemed like she would be on OWN, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but she said that people want to talk about her life. Are you guys interested in Martell Holtz from Love and Marriage Huntsville? Are you guys interested in his mistress's life? I mean, enough for it to be on a regular reality show. I mean, we can just have her sprinkled in on Love and Marriage Huntsville, even though I know that Melody would never let that happen. She's one of the producers, so... yeah, and I'm sure that Carlos wouldn't do that to them either. But shit, it's a business, bitch. Sometimes the bottom line is the bottom line, so we got to be aware of that all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Also, you guys, on Fuse, they say Amara La Negra, starting on December 1st, will be having her own talk show, which is super random. But yeah, they seem to be excited. It's called Don't Cancel Me. And it's going to talk about topics about colorism and relationships and LGBTQ rights and women's rights and immigration, all things that are near and dear to Amara La Negra's heart. And yeah, December 1st on Fuse. That's interesting. She has 8 episodes that she's filmed, and they're going to give them to y'all. So, I mean, are you guys interested in that? We're going to see if she has her heavy accent on this show. Something tells me that she won't. But yeah, she says she's having that. And, you know, this is something, like I said, near and dear to her heart. So she can't wait to sit down and talk with her guests about that, child. We're going to see. But yeah, that's coming December 1st, like I said, on Fuse. Okay, will you be watching? All right, you guys, let me get off of here, because Mr. done text me a million times about some damn foil for this big ass 30-pound turkey that only him and I gonna eat. Let me get off here. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, okay? We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.